I'm Cassandra from Métis Branded. Welcome to the Sash Lanyard tutorial. I'm going to show you all the things you need. So right now I got some tape, scissors, our packet, and a chopstick. It's pretty simple. Kind of get up. We're going to open up our package right now, just like you would at home. And the very first piece is a very, very long piece. That's our feeder piece. So we're going to put it aside with our chopstick. And then we're going to grab out the other pieces. There's our little ring. And this part should be all together tied up with one knot at the tip. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to pull out the 8 primary strings. They should be the exact same color as the string that you're going to feed through to weave. So we're going to pull those out and we're going to put 4 to each side. And then next what you're going to do is you're going to locate the other 2 kind of secondary primary strings. So there's going to be one specific color that is 8 strings, another specific color that has 4, another color that has 4, and then 2 others that just have 2. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take, as I'm going to show you here, the ones that have 4, and you're going to move 2 to one side and then 2 to the other side. And do it again with the other color that has 4. And then when we get to the middle, you're going to do, as you'll see, what I do with the kind of purple and blue is I'll put 1 and then the 2 blue and then 1. So just pay attention when I go into the middle there. I'll double check back when I get there, but that's kind of the setup. So I did the 2 maroon ones there. Next I'm going to do the 2 blacks. So as you can see here, I put the 1 and then the 2 and then the 1. Not everyone is going to have the same colors, so I don't want to just necessarily state blue or maroon or anything because all the packages kind of come in a different range of colors. Some you might have the primary color is 8 and then another 2 strings that match it as well. So just keep track of where your strings are. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to line it up. We're going to do it very softly. We're not going to pull too hard, otherwise the wool might pull right out from underneath the tape. We'll line it up and we'll retape it, and then we'll kind of create a tension. Next, I wanted to show you my big black circular marking on my table that I got from this new tripod I got today to show you this video. I had cleaned my table prior to this, but you know. Anywho, let's talk about sash lanyards, shall we? So you can see that all of the wool is now lined up. Just kind of go through it, comb it a little bit, make sure that it is straight. Grab yourself another piece of tape. Oh, trust me, you're going to have at least 12 pieces of tape to go through this, depending on how long you want your lanyard to go. So that very first tape up there kind of keeps it in straight line, and the bottom one we're going to kind of create a tension. So we're going to do it this way first. I kind of muck around there a little bit. Tape it down, tape it a second time over the tape a little bit because the tape adds some kind of tension. Some tables just really don't do well with tape. So you might want to tie it to the back of a chair or something, but as long as you can find a way to make some tension, that works. Another way to help, I'm going to show right here, is making a slip knot of the wool at the end and then taping that, because that kind of creates a stop from the wool moving past back underneath the tape, which will make it very, very loose. And you're going to find it's very difficult to work with. Excellent. So now you got your tension. Now you are going to fiddle around with the very, very long piece of thread, and you're going to pull out your chopstick. You can tape it to the chopstick, just the tip, and then spin it around, or you could just save yourself a little bit of tape and not do that and just do what I do. Sometimes I've seen people use pens and the cap to hold it in place. Whatever you're more comfortable with. I happen to like using chopsticks because they have that thin tip, and it makes it easy for me to pick my way through the strings when I want to pull them through. So I'm just going to weave that up, and then I'm going to start showing you the pattern. Awesome. Now you're all wound up. We're going to take a couple inches of that long thread, and we're going to tape it straight up to the top there. Another piece of good old tape. Why not? We're going to go, let's go all out. And we're going to start with our pattern. It's really simple. Simple pattern. Eventually you're going to see that I'm going to put that tape underneath there to hold up all those strings so I can easily slip my hand under it, which is a really good idea. Our pattern starts on this side with 2 down, so the first 2 strings go down, then the next 2 strings come up, then the next 2 strings go down, and then the next 2 strings go up. And then we get to the 1 string that goes down, the 2 middle ones come up, the 1 string goes down, and then the next 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. On both sides, the very last 2 strings should be down. If you move your chopstick all the way up like that, it sheds the wool, so it actually makes it easier to pull your thread through without it sticking. You will see eventually in this video where I don't do that and how it kind of creates a bigger space in between the strings and it isn't so tight. Now the opposite way is 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. So you want to make sure that when you come back, you're doing the opposite of what you did on the other way. So when you get to that tricky middle part, it's going to be 1 down and 2 up, 1 down, and then continue your way through. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always reach me in the comment section as well. But you're just going to continue to do this over and over again. See how I didn't pull the chopstick all the way up and I had to kind of do it with my finger there? It's just easier if you put your chopstick through it. But I'll come back in a second. And as the time goes by, you're actually going to find that you get much quicker at it. You just got to keep track of the colors and which way you chose first. So if you chose when you first went in to go up instead of down, then just remember that every time you come in from the right, you're going up or down. And then that keeps track of a lot of mistakes that people might have. If you miss a string, don't worry. You can always just undo it and take it back and go back and again and do it again. But understand that there is no perfection in this. You're just learning, and it is beautiful to learn. It's beautiful to make mistakes. Actually, I love to make little mistakes in certain things because it's great to show flaws. So right here, I'm showing how I'm going to be moving up the threads as I might have run out of room, or you've gotten to the point where you've hit the other piece of tape, and so you're going to want to move it up. This is a really great middle point. Obviously, I'm not doing the full size of the lanyard for you because it would take too long to show you on here. But I'm giving you kind of a mindset of what you would like to do. So at the middle part, wherever you feel comfortable at your middle part, you don't have to do the whole size of the lanyard. You're going to pull where you're going to separate the strings from your last kind of go through. So wherever your chopstick went, you're going to separate the strings, and then you're going to take your little keychain holder and you're going to fish it through those strings. And I'll show you that in a second. So now that you got your keychain ring all the way through, you're going to recomb out the lines, re-straighten them, and pretty much essentially do the exact same thing you did when we first started, which is line them back up and retape them, get that tension good again, and then continue on. And just as you're coming back this way, remember that we started on 2 down on the other side, so this side is going to be 2 up. And you're going to just make sure that tension is good. You don't have to pull too tight when you're pulling that string through, otherwise you're going to get kind of differences in width of your sash. So just keep it a kind of steady tension. Make sure that the string there is good and taut as you're going through it to keep the keychain ring secured, and go back at it. I just want to state at this moment, I actually made a mistake. I started going upwards on this side and I should have went down, and then I realized and kind of moved my strings out a little bit again and went down, as you can see. So we all make mistakes again. Just kind of keep track of which side you're on and what side needs to be down and what side needs to be up, and then the pattern should come really easily to you as each kind of passing goes through. It should become kind of second nature. All right, so I've come to the end of my project at this point because I'd like to illustrate to you how we're going to do the beads. So I always cut below the tape because it offers some tension. I'm going to cut that to where the other strings are, and then I'm going to start to pull out the specific colors I want to braid. And I'll braid it, and then I'll do a knot at the end of all the different colors on each side. I just wanted to say when you're braiding the long string into the ends here that you want to make sure that that line doesn't move too. So we start off soft, make sure you got a good hold on it and that that piece is on the outside so that you can kind of hold it a little tighter. So you're just going to want to make sure that the other ones are all braided to the same point and knotted at the same side. Then we're going to flip it over and again, more tape onto the other braided side to create more tension on this side. Some of the strings might have a loop on the end because they were done quickly. So again, make sure that your long string is tightened on that other side of the braid, and then pull your eye out and line up your braids on each side. And then what you're going to see off camera here, because I am horrible some days at camera work, is I'm going to trim all of the kind of just ends to make them all kind of the same length and match. And there you have it. There is your beautiful sash lanyard. You can stick it to your keychain and it should hold for quite some time. Great job, everyone. If you have any questions, again, just leave it in the comments below, and I can't wait to teach you more. Miigwech. Also, I would love to add, if you would like to show me your sashes, please do tag me on Instagram. I would love to see all of your wonderful creations. Again, have a great day.